Saludos, compadres. Well, you know, a lot of funny things happen out here in the desert and the prairie and all that. There's an old story that goes around about the Injuns out here, about how a bunch of braves was out hunting and they got a storm come up and they didn't have nowhere to go, but they saw a cave, so they went inside that cave to get warm and to wait a horrible storm. Well, they started a fire in that cave to get warm because it was pretty cold that day, and they started noticing on the walls of that cave there were shadows dancing around from that fire. They got worried because they didn't know they didn't have no Christian upbringing like you do, so they figured it was demons that was out to get them. And they figured as soon as the fire went out, they were just waiting for the darkness to pounce on them and get them. So what they did, they just got more firewood and more stuff, and anything they didn't need, they threw on some of their arrows and everything to keep that fire going. And of course, the fire just grew bigger and brighter, and them old shadows got bigger, and all the hurried up, why, it looked even worse, a frenzied, frantic moment. And they said, oh my goodness, it's really getting close. And one of them braves says, well, I've had enough of this, and he took out for the door, and he run out the door. By George, the storm was over when he got out there. And he sat on a rock kind of warming up in the sun, the light, and he said, here I'm out in the light. And then he got to thinking about it, and he started to laugh so loud because, he knew what had happened then. And he thought, well, I'll go back in and tell these other braves what it is. And he goes back in with the good news, and he tells them, hey, guys, come on out. It's all okay. That was just your imagination. And you know what they did? They didn't believe him. They figured them demons had caught him, and in order to save his own life, he was going to trap them. So they killed him. That's kind of the way it is with your ideas that are good, and the teaching and the learning that you do that's good. yeah, them engines is no different than us. Only difference is they killed someone for it, and people will kill your ideas. There's a lot of people just waiting to pour cold water on your hot dreams, I'll tell you. So you don't want to talk too much because it takes the power away from what you're thinking. And you don't want to brag on what you're doing because there's always someone waiting to put it down so they can try to control you. And most important of all, it delays things. And that's my story for today, and I'm sticking to it. And with that, I tell y'all, compadres, it's so long. Till next week.